said that if he could pick one round of golf to be played on one golf course, it would be Pebble Beach. I wonder how much it has to do with the 1972 U.S. Open.
On the final day of that Open, with the Pacific winds howling, Jack Nicklaus was in front, but Arnold Palmer crept into contention. At the picturesque and treacherous par 3, 218-yard 17th, Nicklaus stroked a one-iron that knifed onto the green, kissed the flagstick, and then stopped inches away. The birdie put him out of reach.
He seemed to have the mentality to really play well at U.S. Opens. He knew when to take a chance, knew when to play safe. And then, with it all on the line, hit this unbelievable one-iron shot on the 17th hole.
To hit the flag with a one-iron is unheard of. You're talking about the hardest club even back in the day to hit, and here's a man that pretty much owned the one-iron.
The common statement in those days was even God couldn't hit a one-iron, but Jack certainly could, and he pulled it out at 17 and just rifled it through the wind. Jack himself, he'll refer to it as one of the single best shots he's ever hit.
Jack would go on and beat Arnold Palmer. It was just an awesome shot on the 17th hole at Pebble Beach. You just couldn't ask for a better setting.
Three.
Gene Sarazen's double eagle in 1935 was known as the shot heard around the world, the most famous shot in Masters history. I'd have to say Tiger's chip shot tops it.
In the final round of the 2005 Masters, Tiger Woods clung to a one-shot lead over Chris DeMarco. But at the par 3 16th, Woods was left with a delicate chip. He feathered the ball up a slope where it turned, crawled slowly toward the cup, paused on the lip as though posing, then dropped in. Disheartened, DeMarco still forced a playoff, which Woods won on the first hole.
Tiger's in jail there, and he's not going to make par from where he hit it past the green, long left at 16.
Having a seemingly impossible shot to get up and down left of the green.
I think everybody was thinking, if he can get it anywhere near the hole, it would be a miracle.
He's dead, except he didn't know that.
Hold back.
One of the most clutch shots at one of the most clutch times, just breaking the heart of Chris DeMarco.
You could almost see him before he played the shot. He was kind of painting that picture in his mind of what was going to happen. And then to execute it exactly right. I mean, the ball came off low, and it had just enough spin to kind of get it to the top of that slope and then just kind of let it fall down.
It was like something they would do in Hollywood. The ball's just trickling down there. Then it stops, and you can see Tiger reacts like, oh, that was a great shot. I can't believe it's not going to go. Then it topples in, and the place goes up for grabs. I think that's got to be the loudest roar I've ever heard at Augusta.
If you made that a movie, that's the part of the movie when everyone goes, please, come on. That's, okay, you're a little over the top. Now, I don't believe the movie.
If you give him that shot 100 times, how many times does it go in? Maybe just only that one time. But to me, for Tiger, that shot was so much what Tiger is about. Tiger is about the moment.
2-2-2-2.
People always talk about people pulling off impossible shots. Larry Mize's chip in from 110 feet away is the most ridiculously perfect shot I've ever seen in almost 30 years of covering golf.
First of all, to get it anywhere near the hole is phenomenal. But to have it go in, yeah, it's one of the great golf shots of all time.
On the par 4 11th at Augusta National, the second hole of a sudden death playoff at the 1987 Masters, Greg Norman was lining up his third stroke, a birdie putt. Larry Mize, meanwhile, was lining up his third stroke, a chip from off the green, 140 feet from the cup. It looked like 140 miles, except Mize holed it. Norman, yet again the victim, missed his putt.
There are shots where you say, this guy could conceivably hold this. With Mize, it was just a question of whether he was going to take 4 to get down. Was he going to chip it over the green? Was he going to hit it in the water?
Difficult shot. 25 yards at least off the green, and then onto the green and down the slope, and the green lightning fast and the water just waiting.
He could do 3 things, basically. He could get it close, he could knock it past, and it could roll into the water because that's the way the green goes, or he could leave it short.
And anybody who's been down there on the 11th green to see that chip, I mean, you just don't put the ball in the hole from there. You just don't do it.
That just looked like one Greg was going to win. But Larry, to his credit, just hit a beautiful chip. The thing just rolled perfect and rolled right in the hole.
Larry could still be over there to this day trying to make that chip and not make it. 1 in a million chip shot, really.
82, one of the great opens of all time. I think what you have to have is not only dramatic golf, but compelling characters.
In the final round of the 1982 U.S. Open at Pebble Beach, Jack Nicklaus was in the clubhouse while Tom Watson was in dire straits. They were tied for the lead when Watson embedded his ball in tangled rough just off the par 3 17th green. But brimming with confidence, he gouged it out and into the hole for a birdie.
Yep. And he's over into the deep stuff. Going to be tough to hold it close from there, isn't it, Dave?
In 17, I hit a 2-iron, and I hooked it, and ended up between the bunker and the edge of the green and some high rough on a downslope.
Jack Nicklaus was looking like he was going to become the first player, only player to win 5 U.S. Opens. You just didn't think that Watson could get that ball close.
Possibly the decisive shot.
The most interesting thing about any good shot is the fact that the player knows ahead of time that he can do it. Tom Watson turns around, looks at his caddy, and says, I think I can make this.
I take the sandwich out of the bag. Bruce says, get it close. I say, get it close, hell, I'm going to sink it.
Looks good. Done.
Looks good. Do you believe it? Do you believe
What can you say? Tom Watson pitching into the hole for a birdie. 1 more par, and he's finally won it.
I turned around, looked at Bruce, and I said, see, I told you I was going to sink it.
It was just an absolutely impossible shot. Had to be just right. Had to hit the hole dead center, or it would just keep going.
From the lie and from the whole location and the speed of that green, just an absolute incredible shot.
The U.S. Open has always been the tournament that I think is most difficult to win, and now I was in position to win it.
On 18, Watson made an unnecessary but soul-satisfying birdie.
What a way to win. He wins it by 2 from the greatest golfer of them all, Jack Nicklaus.
The chip in on 17, because of the venue, Pebble Beach, the people involved, Nicklaus and Watson, the tournament, the U.S. Open, has to go down as the greatest shot in the history of golf.